Pastor Roy Gerhart from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. I value hard work. I really love working with men and women who know how to work hard, who will get onto a project, work together, and just pour all their effort into getting that job done. You can see over my shoulder the results of some hard work that a crew put in a couple of weekends ago. And honestly, that's only a small piece of that work that was done. We cut down a number of trees here around our house and carried off all the brush, all the scrap, cut up wood, split a bunch of wood. It was a job, but there was enough people there in on it that it was went well, and but it was still hard work for a lot of hours in the sun. Last night I spent time with a crew that was moving furniture out of our youth room because they're doing renovations in there, and we just had to get stuff off the floor. And that was a bunch of couches, a bunch of other furniture, just a ton of stuff that had to be moved. Did that with a group of adults, some youth and youngsters, some kids as well. It was great seeing them all the way down to these little boys carrying stuff so that we could clear that space. It was hard work. I came home with my shirt drenched in sweat, but it was great working together and being able to accomplish something that at the end of it all you said, hey, we got it done. Look at that. I believe in hard work, and I believe in hard work as believers in Christ as well. Hard work in sharing the gospel, dedication to the task that requires that we're willing to set aside our own interests and work together. Rely on people who have the strengths to do things. Rely on people who have the skills to give direction, and pour our lives into that work so that we can actually get the task accomplished and be able to look back on it and celebrate that. And yesterday we talked about that celebration really being about people that we are able to share the presence of Jesus with in this life, but also in glory in heaven, that we get to come before him. And the Apostle Paul and his team exemplify this kind of hard work. Whenever you read the book of First Thessalonians, the Apostle Paul references the fact that before they came to Thessalonica, they had had a really hard time in Philippi. And when you go back to the book of Acts and read Acts chapter 16 and 17, you get a picture of that. They had had some really terrifying experiences. They had been arrested, beaten, and thrown into the deepest, darkest prison. And the amazing thing that God does, though, is that he just keeps on working in us and working with us despite all kinds of obstacles. In the 16th chapter is the fantastic moment when the guy that was in charge of the prison was saved in the middle of the night, and his whole family also gave their lives to Christ and were baptized by Paul and Silas. That wouldn't have happened if those guys had not taken the beating and ended up in prison and there had sung the hymns of praise of Jesus. And when an earthquake broke out and the guard thought that everybody had run off, and he says, no, we're here. The guard listened to them share about Jesus and said, yes, whatever you guys have got, I got to have some of that too. And those guys then were not discouraged, did not give up. They continued in that hard work of sharing the gospel, making Jesus known, and passing it along. And they went on from that hardship to the next city where they also experienced persecution, and to the next city where they also experienced persecution. They were willing to pour their lives out, work together, and see the job done of sharing the good news of Jesus, because they knew that if you could look back on your life and say, we reached someone with Jesus, we've seen the power of God touch their lives, that it was all worthwhile, and that nothing else would be as worthwhile as all that. May God bless you today. And as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever He takes you.